Hello friends, thanks for joining me here at Non-Toxic Home today. Hopefully I found a place to sit and record this in our small non-toxic home where my face is not glaring at you like the sun. And the sun is bright on this fall day. Well, I wanted to do an update for October 2020 as far as the 5G satellites go. If you aren't already aware, I'm a human canary. I react to things that are toxic, and in some cases, I react with anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis, of course, can kill. EMFs in the past have closed my throat on me multiple times. I can't tell you how many times I've had to use emergency epinephrine due to exposure to electromagnetic frequencies, specifically for me, radio frequencies, but it's been a number of times. Smart meters have closed my throat. Cell phone exposure has closed my throat. Exposure to a 5G tower in May of 2019 did not close my throat. It didn't require emergency epinephrine, but that was the last time, besides going to the doctor once, that I've left our property. And right now, it's mid-October 2020. This probably won't get uploaded until the end of October. I apologize for that. I'm behind in everything in life. Now, earlier this year, on April 22nd specifically, I suddenly became impacted by, goodness, I don't know what. I didn't know at the time, but whatever it was, it hit me like a load of bricks. I was having heart palpitations. I started to have shortness of breath, trouble breathing. It wasn't asthma. I have very mild asthma. It wasn't asthma. It was something else. It was like there wasn't any oxygen in the air. Well, a couple weeks later, I learned that SpaceX had finally launched. I knew that there were going to be SpaceX launches of 5G satellites this year, but I didn't follow the launch schedule because, quite frankly, I didn't want to know, and I didn't think about it. So I didn't come down with these symptoms due to the placebo effect. It doesn't apply if you don't know. And also, it impacted my senior cat, my chickens, our plants, and the beneficial insects in our area. Do you think they knew about the SpaceX launch? Of course not. Of course not. Now, these satellites aren't just being launched by SpaceX. They've been approved to be launched by other companies such as Amazon and some other companies I can't think of right now. At the same time that I came down with these mysterious symptoms, individuals around the world, across the world, more accurately, also reported various symptoms. Migraines, headaches, nosebleeds. Others have reported heart palpitations, chest pains, like I have. Others have been short of breath, like me too. Cognitive issues, trouble thinking, problems with memory, recall issues. The symptom list just goes on and on and on. And the thing is, the symptom list is the same as that of microwave illness or microwave sickness. Microwave sickness isn't discussed in the medical literature a whole lot, unfortunately. So treatment is a bit difficult, especially if you treat naturally like I do. No toxic pharmaceuticals here, friends. Even epinephrine is toxic to me. I've only used it once since we moved into our non-toxic home, our healthy home. I was using it 5 to 7 times a week just in order to open up my airway. Now I take Apis mellifica, by the way. That is what I use as far as homeopathy goes instead of epinephrine. This is not medical advice. This is not medical information. Always consult your doctor about everything all of the time. Have to insert that disclaimer in there. Now, as far as this October goes, now that you have been updated, if you don't know what in the world's going on with the crazy 5G satellites, I have improved as far as my symptoms go. Now, I believe my last update was in August, and as I mentioned, it's now mid-October when I'm recording this. And I have been doing what I can to help my friend, doing research, etc., 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 for her tiny home. Helping my husband out, taking care of chickens. I'm also raising some chickens for her. taking care of my cats. My senior cat is doing better. He decided on his own that he needed a ground. Grounding is what he needed. And so he goes outside pretty much every day now and grounds himself. And he feels much better grounding. And his symptoms are much better with that. Our chickens are not doing so great right now because they just started molting. Fall is just the worst time for chickens to molt. I don't understand why God designed them that way. But regardless, they were also impacted, as I mentioned, by the 5G satellite radiation. And EMFs are known to impact the voltage-gated calcium channel. And as a result, our chickens had problems, as do other chickens in our area. The calcium balance for chickens is very delicate. And they have to have a good deal of calcium because they're pumping out eggs. And the shells have calcium. So while I always offer them oyster shells, they never take me up on it. I have been forced to basically crush up their egg shells after, we eat their eggs, of course. And then I give that eggshell powder, that calcium powder, back to them. And I give quite a bit to them. I add it to all of their food and all of their water. And there have been a few days when I've felt extra bad and I haven't been able to do that. And that's been reflected in their eggs. They've been laying eggs that didn't have shells. As long as I do that, they're doing better as far as that goes. Now, what else? Cats, chickens, plants. Our plants. Oh my goodness. Some more of our plants got scorched. Like, it was scorched. It was not a disease. It was not a pest. It was one evening they were green and healthy, and the next morning they were burnt to a crisp, pretty much. This mostly happened to our strawberries. It didn't get any strawberries at all this year. Happened to, as well, some of our plants in our garden. And these are not plants that I watered on the top and then the sun scorched them. I've never even had that happen anyways, by the way. I believe that's more of a myth than anything. Could be wrong. Just telling you what my experience is. Now, as far as other people goes, we have had more reports the past week from people across the world that they are experiencing symptoms. People with nosebleeds, a lot of people with migraines. I've been more symptomatic this past week and a half or so. Personally, I've been so exhausted and tired. I've had more trouble breathing again. I do discuss in some of my other videos some of the treatment protocols, such as castor oil packs, coffee enemas, breathing in aerosolized food-grade hydrogen peroxide, quercetin, etc., etc., etc. There are a lot of things that you can try. Again, I'm not a doctor. There is no one-size-fits-all solution to this, friends, especially since all of our symptoms are different and we are all different. If you're going through this too, I'm really sorry to hear that because it really is not fun. At all. I don't know why this is being permitted by our God. Quite frankly, it is obviously satanic and evil because anything that causes these sorts of problems in humans, insects, animals, plants, it's not beneficial. However, as I've also discussed in another video, the first seal has been opened. So we're going to be seeing worse things than we can probably even imagine here coming up. And one of those is the 5G. Of course, this is also being rolled out via small cell towers in localities. Fortunately, we don't have that issue here in the middle of the woods. But at the same time, as I discussed in a recent article, the concentration or densification of the small cell towers is utterly unnecessary, and we're being lied to by the industry as to the necessity of the densification. It's absolutely unnecessary. Even Verizon says so, and I'll link to that as well. I link to that in my article in which I discuss how far 5G truly will go, as well as whether trees will block it. Now, some will say that it's absolutely impossible that millimeter frequencies are impacting life from the sky, from space. Oh, there's a whole lot to unpack there. But here's the thing. If you look up in the sky at night and you have a clear view of the sky like we do, we don't have any pollution really around here, you can see the satellites. They are not that far away, friends. They are nowhere near as far away as we are told they are. Absolutely not. Believe your eyes, believe your body, believe your experience, because we're being lied to on all fronts. Science is no longer empirical or scientific. It's almost all corporate propaganda. Not all. Not all. There's some incredible scientists out there today. They're also a whole lot bought by industry. So don't buy the lies that say, oh, you can't possibly be having any symptoms, or this can't possibly be microwave sickness, because your body knows it, right? So I mentioned some of the symptoms that we're hearing more of. Now we are hearing more specifically in the past week or week and a half from individuals that are in the more northern latitudes. Now we are here in southern Indiana. Mostly we're hearing from people in Wisconsin, southern Canada, let's see, North Dakota, I think there was Maine, Oregon. There's a lot in Oregon, and guess what? The tests of the SpaceX 5G satellite internet, according to SpaceX, according to their website, is starting in Oregon. So I find that very interesting. And they're starting the testing in the northern latitudes and then moving the testing down southernly. So if you didn't know that, that's good information to know in my opinion. Now, there isn't really anywhere you can go to get away from this, unfortunately. I am 100% certain that our standing seam metal roof makes a huge monumental difference. Now we are also going to be looking at, well, not looking at, will be putting aluminum siding up, which I discussed back in May, but we were brokety broke then. And so now I have to find someone who will do as I need them to do. I basically just need someone to follow my instruction. I need muscle. I need muscle and the ability to follow instruction. And apparently that's difficult to come by these days. So please pray that we find some company, small builder. I think we're probably going to go to Angie's List and Home Advisor and put up a post on there, because Craigslist is not pumping out quality applicants so much as I would hope. And then we'll get the aluminum siding up, and I have no doubt that will make a huge difference, because when I go outside on a clear day, I have a great deal more symptoms than I do when it's cloudy or when I'm inside all day. And of course, our home is a healthy home, so we have good indoor air quality in here. If you haven't already, be sure to check out some of our other videos on this topic, as we do have other ideas for interventions that may help you. I apologize, I just looked away as I heard one of our chickens go, ah! One of the benefits of, trying to make your own food and such. Thank you for being here. Please share this in any group or with any person on social media that you can think of that might benefit from this, because this is impacting more people than we realize. A lot of people are seeking their medical providers about this issue, and the medical providers don't know how to treat what they're treating, because they only treat the symptoms. They don't treat the root cause. Got to treat the root cause. You got to address the root cause. And obviously I'm working on addressing root causes myself. And I don't know why this is happening again, but there is a reason for everything. Keep your chin up, okay? This too shall pass. Put on the armor of God, because honestly, nothing helps me more than that. I pray that armor of God every single day on me, because we live in an increasingly toxic world. There are, I believe, 738 SpaceX satellites orbiting, not orbiting, but up there right now. Because if you look in the night sky, you can see them. They are mostly stationary. They move around a little bit, sort of like this, but they're definitely not like going like this. Absolutely not. And that's been the case ever since I've first seen them. And I'm seeing more in the night sky here as well. They're very different from stars. They're absolutely not stars. Definitely not the same thing. It's obvious. Believe your eyes, believe your body. This too shall pass. All right. Take care of yourself. It's okay to disengage from social media if it is not benefiting you. Please do so if it benefits you. I promise. If you disengage from social media, for the most part, obviously I'm still a little bit on there because I share for our business, you'll find a huge improvement in your mood, your outlook, everything. You'll feel better physically. Even though I still want you to share this, I want you to be healthy more than anything else. Thanks so much for being here. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe. Anything that you do to interact with this video helps. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful and blessed day, friends.